What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Vybe, and welcome back to another NBA 2K20 video. And as you can see from the title, this one's a pretty easy one. What if every single player was on the first team they played for? So we're going to put, LeBron back on the Cavs, KD, Harden, and Russ all back on the Thunder. People remember Linsanity. Jeremy Lin's first team that he played for was actually the Warriors, though, not the Knicks. So we're going to go in, we're going to put everyone on their first team that they played for, not that they were drafted by. Because as everyone remembers, there was the Luka Doncic and Trae Young trade. Luka was drafted by Atlanta, Trae was drafted by Dallas, but they never played a minute for those franchises, so it's not whatever team drafted them, or if they were undrafted, what team they signed with. It is who they played their first ever game for, their first official team. So we're going to jump in. Let's look at these rosters. We're just going to do one season to see what it would look like if everyone was on their first team. Personally, I will show you the rosters, and then I'm going to say my opinions, my guesses for everything. I've got one team I think is going to be the overwhelming favorite. All right, so starting with the Philadelphia 76ers, we've got Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Nikola Vucevic, Rashawn Holmes, Drew Holiday, Lou Will, Christian Wood, which even though right here it says Milwaukee, New Orleans, they left it out. His first ever game played was actually as a member of the 76ers, so he's here. We got former Rookie of the Year Michael Carter-Williams, Jeremy Grant, Markelle Fultz, Nerlens Noel, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, hopefully I said that name right, Thaddeus Young, TJ McConnell, and there were so many other players drafted by the 76ers. As you'll see, there's no Andre Iguodala, there's no Jahlil Okafor. A lot of players had to be left off because, you're allowed 15 on a roster. We wanted the 15 best. Next, we've got Milwaukee with Giannis, Tobias Harris, Malcolm Brogdon, Dante DiVincenzo, Jabari Parker, Ersan Ilyasova, John Henson, Luke Mbamute, Thon Maker, Andrew Bogut, Gary Payton II, John Lauer, Jody Meeks, Sterling Brown, and DJ Wilson round out the Milwaukee Bucks team. Chicago, this is another one of my, like I said, biased Bulls fan. This is another one of my favorites. I think this is a playoff team. I don't think they win it all. But we got Jimmy Butler. We got D. Rose. Got Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen, Taj Gibson, Nikola Mirotic, Bobby Portis, Jamal Crawford, Doug McDermott, Kobe White, Denzel Valentine, Daniel Gafford, Chandler Hutchinson, James Johnson, Joakim Noah. That's right, Luol Deng didn't get the final spot. Noah was the 15th. For Cleveland, we got LeBron, we got Kyrie, Colin Sexton, Tristan Thompson, Danny Green, Dion Waiters, Joe Harris, Chetty Osman, Kevin Porter Jr., Darius Garland. So we got some rookies in here. Ante Zizek, Tyler Zeller, Dylan Windler, Matthew Dellavedova, Jaron Blossom Game. All right, that's all for Cleveland. We move into Boston. We got Tatum. We got Jaylen Brown, Daniel Tice, Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, Dwight Powell, Robert Williams, Kelly Olynyk, Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley, Gerald Green, Brad Wanamaker, Etuan Moore, Gershon Dubaseli, I probably butchered that name as well, and Carson Edwards. For the Clippers, we got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, we got Bledsoe, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Eric Gordon, Sean Livingston, Al-Farouq Aminu, Milos Teodosic, Reggie Bullock, Sindarius Thornwell, Jerome Robinson, Jawan Evans, CJ Williams, Tyrone Wallace, Angel Delgado. So a lot of these teams did not have a lot of drafted players. So, these are three people I have never heard of, but, they all said their first games were for the Clippers, so we got them with the Clippers. Because there were a few teams that did not even have enough players drafted or that had started with them. I believe the only two were the Pacers and the Wizards, who do not have enough natural players of their own. So we had to include just a default player. We'll call him that. We'll just default player. Then we come to the Memphis Grizzlies. We got Kyle Lowry. We got John Morant, who, we want to get the best rosters possible. So starting Lowry, moving Ja to shooting guard made sense. You got Jaren Jackson, Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, Seth Curry, Rudy Gay, Mike Conley, Mark Gasol, Pau Gasol, Damari Carroll, Yvonne Robb, Troy Williams, Javon Carter, Jarrell Martin. So we got a nice little starting lineup here in Memphis. We come to Atlanta. We got Trey. We got John Collins, Al Horford, Dennis Schroeder, Jeff Teague, Amari Spellman, Damian Lee, Kevin Huerter, Marvin Williams, DeAndre Hunter, Bruno Fernando, DeAndre Bembry, Mike Muscala, Mike Scott, Cam Reddish. Oh, Cam Reddish, the last one. Wow. It's like so many of these teams, it's like it feels like I'm just flying through. The Heat, I expect to be the worst team in the league, as you could just see with these starting overalls. Like, yeah, you got Bam Adebayo, who's gonna be a monster for him, but outside of that, there's not too much here. Josh Richardson, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, Shabazz Napier, Justice Winslow, Tyler Hero, James Ennis, Michael Beasley, Tyler Johnson, Okaro White, Rodney Magruder, Yante Maten, and Udon. Part of me wanted to add Dwayne Wade to this roster just so it would stand a chance, but I mean, he's not in the league anymore, so that'd be cheating. So Miami's got to stick with what they've got. Charlotte, you got Kemba, you got Devontae Graham, Bismack Biyombo, Cody Zeller, Noah Vonleh, Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, DJ Augustine, Frank Kaminsky, Malik Monk, Raymond Felton, Jared Dudley, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Treveon Graham, and Dwayne Bacon. So Charlotte, I don't expect Charlotte to make the playoffs. I think they're like a mid-30s team. So there's a chance, but I don't see it happening. Now this is this is an obvious playoff team. We got Donovan Mitchell, we got Rudy Gobert, Enes Kanter, Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, Tony Bradley, Trey Burke, Alex Burks, Joe Ingles, Rodney Hood, Wes Matthews, Trey Lyles, CJ Miles, Costa Koufis, and Raul Neto for Utah. And then the Kings, you got a pretty stacked team here, especially in the big men. You got Hassan Whiteside, De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, Boogie Cousins, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Willie Cauley-Stein, IT, Harry Giles, forgive me on that one, Tyreek Evans, Skal Labissiere, Ben McLemore, Justin Jackson, Nick Stauskas, Omri Caspi, Eric Moreland. And then we get to New York with Porzingis, Gallinari, Mitch Robinson, Willie Hernan-Gomez, Tim Hardaway, RJ Barrett, Luke Cornett, Alonzo Trier, Langston Galloway, Trevor Ariza, Jaren Grant, Frank Ntilikina, Damian Dotson, Amon Shumpert, and Ron Baker. Then we come to LA, where we get the entire young group of Lakers that they drafted through the 2010s. And honestly, the potential of this team had all managed to stick together would be incredible. Brandon Ingram, D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, Mo Wagner, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, Lonzo, Thomas Bryant, Ivica Zubac, Kuzma, Caruso, Josh Hart, David Nwaba, Isaac Bonga, Jamario Jones. Like this, David Nwaba is a great defender. Like, you got some nice depth down here, and like this starting lineup is impressive. But LeBron and Anthony Davis are doing a pretty good job. And we come to Orlando. We got Oladipo, Jonathan Isaac, Dwight Howard, Aaron Gordon, JJ Redick, Mo Bamba, Alfred Payton, Kyle O'Quinn, Marcin Gortat, Kem Birch, Zaza, Mario Hezonja, Mo Harkless, Wesley Iwundu, and Courtney Lee for Orlando. Dallas, this is another one like Miami. You got one star who's going to have to carry everything for a chance, and that is Luka. And then behind him, you got Maxi Kleber, Jalen Brunson, J.J. Barea, Jay Crowder, Dorian Finney-Smith, Salah Mejri, Devin Harris, Quinn Cook, Dennis Smith, Ryan Brokoff, hopefully I said that one right, Justin Anderson, Daryl Mason, Jonathan Gibson. I'll say this Mavericks team don't look too strong, but you know Luka might be able to carry it. Brooklyn, you got Bojan, Derek Favors, Jarrett Allen, Caris LeVert, Brooke Lopez, Mason Plumlee, Rondae Hollis Jefferson, Rodians Karooks, Marshawn Brooks, Yogi Ferrell, Isaiah Whitehead, Dazanan Musa, I probably butchered that name, Ryan Anderson, Theo Pinson, Tajiri McCall. I've never heard of this guy, but he played with Brooklyn, and you know they needed players, so here he is. Denver, you got Jokic, you got Murray, you got Nurkic, Evan Fournier, Michael Porter, Kenneth Farid, Melo, Monte Morris, Malik Beasley, Emmanuel Mudiay, Gary Harris, Nene, Torrey Craig, Juan Hernan Gomez, and Tyler Lydon for Denver. Indiana's got a decent bench. This is, you know, I feel like this one might be underappreciated. I still think they're in that Miami, Dallas area where one guy is going to have to do everything. We see who that guy is. That's Paul George. Miles Turner, Goga Bitadze. Hopefully I said that one right. TJ Leaf, Georges Niang, Aaron Holiday, Lance Stevenson, Solomon Hill, Edmund Sumner, Miles Plumlee, Elise Johnson, Ike Anigbogu, and yeah, we got 3 generic players. These are the guys I had to make just to fill out the roster. So I think Washington is the only other team that has these guys. New Orleans, this is a stacked team right here. We got AD, we got Chris Paul, we got Zion, Buddy Hield, Darren Collison, Jackson Hayes, J.R. Smith, Austin Rivers, Sheik Diallo, Walt Lemon, Darius Miller, Frank Jackson, Wayne Selden, Quincy Pondexter, and Kenrick Williams. So you got a nice bench, but you got a fantastic starting lineup here. I mean, Buddy Hield probably going to be at the 3. Zion or AD split the 4 and the 5. That's a good starting lineup in New Orleans. Detroit, you got Chris Middleton. You got Drummond, Dinwiddie, Luke Kennard, Greg Monroe, Amir Johnson, Jonas Jerebko, KCP, Bruce Brown, Stanley Johnson. You know, I've been saying I apologize for butchering names. This is the first one I apologize. I'm not even going to try to say. Brandon Knight, Henry Ellenson, Kyrie Thomas, Zach Lofton for Detroit. Toronto, we got Spicy P, Pascal Siakam, DeMar DeRozan, Jonas Valanciunas, Fred VanVleet, PJ Tucker, Terrence Ross. Yeah, we moved PJ Tucker. If you've been playing 2K, you know, on Houston, they got him playing the 6'5 center. You got to move this man back to small forward. OG Anunoby, Norman Powell, Jakob Poeltl, Delon Wright, Ed Davis, Vinsanity, Quincy Acey, Bruno Caboclo, and Jose Calderon for Toronto. Houston, you got Montrezl Harrell, Clint Capella, Robert Covington, Marcus Morris, Pat Bev, Ish Smith, Patrick Patterson, Chandler Parsons, Sam Decker, Terrence Jones, Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Cannon, Troy Daniels, Garrett Temple, and Vince Edwards. San Antonio, Kawhi comes back. You got Aaron Baines, DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Davis Bertans, George Hill, Boban, Bryn Forbes, Ian Mahinmi, Kyle Anderson, JaMychal Green, Corey Joseph, Lonnie Walker, Shemezi Mudu, I think I said that one right, Jonathan Simmons for the Spurs. You know, the Spurs have always had these late round picks, so I mean, most of I think the Spurs roster here is their actual current roster, at least the guards. Phoenix, you got Book, Ayton, TJ Warren, Goran Dragic, Derek Jones, Alex Len, Mikal Bridges, DeAnthony Melton, Jordan McRae, Markieff Morris, Robin Lopez, Allen Williams, Shaq Harrison, Josh Jackson, and Cam Johnson. I think this next one, this is the favorite to win it all. I'm sorry. James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Domantas Sabonis, Steven Adams, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Jeremy Lamb, Andre Roberson, Jeff Green, Cam Payne, Alex Abrinas, Terrence Ferguson, Hamidou Diallo, and Deontay Burton. Like, this is a pretty good middle of the bench. It's okay at the end of the bench, but that starting lineup is phenomenal. You got Serge as the sixth man, and then Reggie, Jeremy, and Andre is like the main bench. OKC's, I think, going to be the team. Minnesota, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got Zach LaVine, Kevin Love, Wiggins, Nemanja Bjelica, Ricky Rubio, Tyus Jones, Gorgie Deng, Glenn Robinson, Chris Dunn, Josh Okogie, Jarrett Culver, Corey Brewer, James Nunnally, Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington's the last one. Portland, Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, LaMarcus Aldridge, Will Barton, Patty Mills, Zach Randolph, Gary Trent, Myers Leonard, Nazir Little, Pat Connaughton, Zach Collins, Nick Batum, Jake Layman, Alan Crabb, and Anthony Simons for Portland. Golden State, you still got the Splash Bros. You got Draymond, Eric Pascal, Jordan Bell, Kevon Looney, Harrison Barnes, Chris Boucher, Ekpe Udoh, Lynn Sanity in Golden State, Damian Jones, Kent Bazemore, Patrick McCaw, Marco Bellinelli, and Jacob Evans for the Warriors. And then the Wizards finish it off with Bradley Beal, John Wall, Kelly Oubre, JaVale McGee, Rui Hachimura, Thomas Satoransky, Otto Porter, Troy Brown, Daniel House, Nick Young, Shelvin Mack, Devin Robinson, and then, another 3 generic players because they didn't have enough on their actual roster to finish it. So let's jump into a season, just one season, and let's see how everyone would do if they were on their initial team. All right, so we're here in the season. We turned off trades. We turned off injuries. Trades, obvious. We want everyone to stay on their initial teams. Injuries, we want the best rosters to go through. So let's sim to the end of the season, and we'll see you guys there. All right, so with everyone on their original team, with MVP, we got Steph Curry, rookie Zion Williamson, 6-man Jusuf Nurkic over in Portland, Kawhi gets defensive player for the Spurs, Bam gets most improved in Miami, Coach gets Billy Donovan to the Thunder. All NBA first, Steph, James, LeBron, Giannis, and Jokic. Second team, D'Angelo Russell, really? Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Bam Adebayo. I just want to 25 a game in LA for D'Angelo. Okay. Third team, Russ, Ben Simmons, Luka, KD, and LaMarcus Aldridge. All defensive. Bledsoe? Ben Simmons, Kawhi, Giannis, and Rudy. All defensive, Oladipo, Russ, AD, LeBron, Andre Drummond. Your rookie first team is Zion, John Morant, Brandon Clark, RJ Barrett, and Michael Porter. Second team, Rui Hachimura, Goga, Eric Pascal, Jackson Hayes, and Tyler Hero. Now, I picked the Bulls. All right, so Chicago would be the 3 team in the East. Yeah, OKC the 1. Let's before we do that, so league standings, Eastern Conference. You got Philly at 60 wins, Toronto 58, Chicago 49, Milwaukee 47, Detroit 46, Boston 44, Orlando 40, Cleveland 40. That is surprising that Cleveland is a 40-win team with LeBron and Kyrie. Washington misses at 38, Charlotte 37. I think that's where I said Charlotte would be, like mid-30s. New York 29, Atlanta 25, Brooklyn 25, Indiana 22, Miami 22, and Dallas 24. Clippers. The Clippers being that bad surprises me. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That was a good team. The Spurs. I guess the all big men rotation for the Kings doesn't help. Houston, not too good without James Harden. Memphis, that's a typical Memphis team. Portland misses with Dame, LaMarcus, and CJ. Wow. Phoenix gets it. New Orleans at 42. LA at 44. Minnesota 47. Utah 55. Denver 58. Golden State 59. OKC 60. Yeah, 65 wins. We saw that with the coach. All-Stars, LeBron, James Harden, Kawhi, Kyrie, Embiid, Chris Paul, Dame Lillard, DeRozan, Jimmy, Jokic, Bradley Beal, Chris Middleton, Steph, KD, AD, Giannis, Ben Simmons, Westbrook, Paul George, Towns, Kemba, Luka, LaMarcus, and Trae Young. Now for the moment we all were waiting for. Let's sim the round. Could Chicago make it out? All right, so Chicago makes it out of the first round against Boston. OKC sweeps. Are there any other sweeps? No. Simulate the next round. Chicago loses to Toronto. OKC and Golden State. Toronto and Milwaukee. The Thunder and the Raptors. Like I said, I think we all know how this is about to go. It wasn't a sweep, but the Thunder, James Harden, best team in the league if everyone was on that initial team. Doesn't surprise anyone. Thank you guys so much for watching another NBA 2K video. I hope you went on to enjoy it. If you did, help me out by hitting that like button. Hit subscribe as well. And I will see you guys next time.